JD Talking Sports. We are not going to be alone today. I finally get to have Milton on to talk about the exciting, well, now they are the national champion, Michigan Wolverines. And here he is. Milton has joined
Good
us.
afternoon.
Good
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, kind sir.
How are you doing today?
Well, listen, it's not about me anymore. It's about the national champion, Milton, responsible for this team. If it wasn't for Milton, this wouldn't have happened.
You know, I do believe that to be partially true. I think that without me following all of my usual game day policies and procedures, the team would not have won the championship. But I do have to give some credit to all of the years of hard work that the 100 or so players put in, and all the time in the weight room and the training table and watching film. I think they do deserve some credit in addition to the credit that I deserve, given all the things that I've done to support the team over the years.
Yes. So the question I have for you, because I know there's a way you watch games at home, was there a specific outfit you wore to the game? Was there a shirt? Anything you had?
Well, no, that's a great question. I'm not so. It depends on the game. If it's a big game, I'm generally in a Mays t-shirt. So I don't have one specific shirt, but for all of the big games, I have a Mays t-shirt on, although the t-shirt was not effective against Georgia in 2021 or against TCU last year. So the Mays shirt does not always pull through, but it's what I go with. So I have a variety of Mays shirts. I have a t-shirt every year for the season for the students. I usually buy that, so I wear that a fair amount. And I also have, obviously, other various Mays t-shirts. Depending on the weather, there can be layers over that. So like the Ohio State games, which are late in November, I always have a sweatshirt, Michigan sweatshirt, and the last two Michigan Ohio State games that took place in Ann Arbor, so 2021 and 23, I wore the same outerwear, basically my ski clothes, because I did not want to be distracted by being cold, or if it snowed or rained, I didn't want any distraction. So I was teased mercilessly by my family and friends for my outfit in 2021, although I was vindicated when it ended up snowing and it was quite cold. And then I wore the exact same thing to the game this year because I did not want to jinx anything.
Oh, to the Ohio State.
So I do hit.
Yeah, we got a little.
Yeah, the Ohio State.
We got a little. There was a little bit of technical difficulties. I lost some stuff.
Oh.
You said you bought stuff at the student store. No, nothing. You just phones are phones. You said you buy. So
Okay,
it's basically Mays stuff you buy, and then you have a specific outfit you wore to the dump game, as we call
Ohio
it.
State games.
21 and 23. Why
Exactly.
Why did they rip you apart? Because it was why were they busting?
Because I was dressed basically in my ski clothes. So I had my heavy jacket on and my leggings or ski pants, whatever we call them. And because the game in 2021, there was snow in the forecast, and I didn't want to be distracted by the weather, or I didn't want to feel like I was too cold and I had to leave or whatever. So I typically, when it starts to get cold, I overdress a little bit, because I'd rather be a little warm than a little cold.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this
No,
year,
but you see people, dressed like late November for an outdoor game, dressed like it's a normal game. And I guess I'm getting older. I can't do that. So yeah.
Oh, I don't think you really care what people think. You're locked in.
Exactly.
You're just like, I'm here to watch. Now let's.
I'm here for the game.
And you got tickets to the championship game. You saw it in person. I was told there wasn't a dry eye in the house. I heard there was a little crying going on afterwards. That's what I heard from sources close to the action.
Well, I was not the only person to experience that emotion.
No, you were not. You were not. I was told there was numerous.
Yes, and it's hard to explain just the school pride that most Michigan grads have. I'm biased, obviously, but it's a unique university in terms of the combination of it being, near elite academically, having, near elite or elite athletic programs, and also being located in what's usually listed as one of the top 1 or 2 or 3 or at worst 5 college towns in America. So Michigan really offers almost anything to anyone. And you add on top of that it ranks in the top 10 in pretty much every major, academic program. So those of us who go to Michigan have an excessive amount of pride. If you're walking down the streets in any city in the world and you're wearing Michigan garb, you're going to get a Go Blue. It doesn't matter where you are. So I think that adds to the emotions.
I will. You are 100% correct. There is nothing like you guys. I got to be honest with you. The pride you guys have is unparalleled.
And we're the largest living group of alumni. There's almost anywhere in the world you can find a Michigan football watch party. I've watched Michigan sporting events in probably a half a dozen cities around the country. And that's because of that pride that people want to stay connected to their university. I'm not a person who has the same sort of emotional connection to my professional sports. I know there were people who were crying after the Lions playoff victory, but I don't have that kind of emotional connection to the professional teams, but I do have that connection to Michigan. And the other thing that I think caused so many of the emotions for a lot of us is the ups and downs. And throughout my entire life, up until 2006 or 2007, so for the first 40 years of my life, Michigan was always very good to excellent. 9-3, 9-2, 10-2, maybe in a case, one national championship, but every year competed for the Big Ten title. And then everything came crashing down with the loss to Appalachian State in 2007, and then the ensuing 7 years in the wilderness with Rich Rodriguez and Brady Hoke. So I think, and then watching Jim Harbaugh's teams kind of struggle, and then in 2020 it was a disaster. So I think that all of that made the victory that much sweeter. For some reason, the suffering and the frustration made it that much sweeter for a lot of us, because really a lot of us never thought that Harbaugh could get the team back to where it's been the last 3 years. I thought that maybe at best we could be a 10-2 or 11-1 team and beat Ohio State a quarter of the time and go to the playoff, once every 5 or 6 or 7 years. I never thought that we'd be able to put together the 3-year run that we've had. And who knows what's going to happen in the future, but I never thought.
That's okay. I have to stop you for a second, because the thing that bothers me is that I feel like it's all like, I think Harbaugh's leaving. I don't know if you feel that way. I've heard reports that he's staying. I think he's leaving. McCarthy's gone. Well, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about him going pro, but I don't want to harp on you.
Yep.
I want you to keep talking about this, but I almost feel like it's almost a one and done deal, and I don't like that. I want you guys to have like a run. I want you guys to win like a couple, That's what I feel like with this. And I'm very excited for you. Michigan was ecstatic. I'm ecstatic for you. But I kind of feel like it almost sounded like the job was done. We came what we wanted to do, and that's it. I feel like, and it kind of sucks in a way for me, for you guys, because I feel like, wait a minute, I don't want this to be in like 2024, and then Milton's going to go through the next, what does the future hold? I feel like a lot of, I feel like it puts everything kind of, and I think, and that's what do you think Moore's the next head coach? Do you really, I think he's leaving. I really think he's leaving Harbaugh. I think he wants to win now a Super Bowl. Now he wants to win a Super Bowl. That's what I think. So, but that's why I want you to come on. And I'm not trying to dampen your spirit. I'm just curious.
Yeah, no.
I'm just trying, because you're my guy. You're my guy. So I really wanted to hear from you what you thought.
Well, certainly those of us who